Bad man, you done know.
It's Fake Kills.
Welcome everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today, as you can see, we're just gonna get ready. We're gonna beat our face into some full glam, feel like the baddest that you are energy. And we're actually, the topic, as you can see by the headline, is how I built my confidence. Well, really, it's gonna be more like a memoir. Let's be serious. I'm just gonna basically speak on the things that I had to do or I had to work on to build that for myself, because I feel like this is something a lot of people actually have a hard time with. I think we all start somewhere, and we all just hope to eventually get to a space where like we're really good with ourselves. So I feel like the first thing you really have to understand is you have to figure out what confidence really means to you. Like when you define something, that it's easy to pinpoint it, right? So I feel like for me, I had to first understand like what did I consider confident. Like what was it about someone that made me feel like, oh, they must be confident? And I didn't want to, because like in the beginning I just wanted to like obviously feel myself and feel like I'm that bitch and like whatever, but I didn't want it to be just something that I would say. I wanted to actually embody what it was to really be like that chick, or be, you know, just so confident in myself that it was so obvious that like nothing could shake me, you know? Like no one could make me feel anything about myself that I didn't know that I knew wasn't true. That makes any sense. So finding women that truly embody what it is to be confident, like that was where it really started for me. That's where the ones that, you know, when they walk into a room, you're just like, oh my gosh, there's something about her, like, oh my god, like what is it? Like what is it? Like I went looking for that. I think that's the first step, is identifying what that is going to look like for yourself, because for everybody it's different. What that's going to feel like, what that's going to look like. Looking at women that you look at their life, the way they are, and you go, yes, that's confidence. Everything about that person, not just the way they look, but the way they carry themselves, their aura. Because I think confidence is an aura. It's not something you see. Like I'm telling you guys, like people think that it's like something you actually see. It's not tangible. I truly feel like it's an aura. It's like a vibe that someone carries about themselves, that it actually triggers your confidence in yourself. And you're kind of like, should I like stand up a little straighter? It could be an older sister, it could be a celebrity, it could be anyone. It could just be someone you know, their confidence is real. Like it comes from deep inside themselves. Like it's not something that's just like, oh, my purse or my eyelash extensions or how I do my makeup today. Like it's like within themselves and it just radiates. Understanding what it is about yourself, I think, that you don't think makes you enough. Like you don't think that makes you not like her. Like you know what I'm saying? I don't want to say, like, you know what I'm saying? I want to say her, because her is a stronger term, you know? So yeah, you have to figure out what makes you not her. Like you need to figure out your triggers. You need to figure out what it is that triggers you and makes you kind of start talking bad about yourself. Because I think confidence and lack thereof is how you speak to yourself. It's how you view yourself. It's literally how you go, oh, it was like, wow, you know what I'm saying? Or you go, girl, like you should have and look at your, you know what I'm saying? I think it's how you speak to yourself. That's because confidence is really your self-image. It's how you see yourself, the image of yourself that you see every day in your eyes. That's why they say like self-love is not an exterior project, and it's not a group project either. It's a one-person project. It's within yourself. Because only you know yourself to the full extreme, naked, transparent, to your core, all your flaws, all your sins, all that shit. But like literally, only you know yourself that way, so only you can actually guide yourself through that. Like I remember reading this thing and it said, I need to actually be doing stuff here while I'm talking. Yeah, so I read this quote that said, self-love and getting to know yourself and loving yourself is like peeling an onion. You just keep crying. More layers go. And I'm like, damn, ain't that a true statement? I think identifying is one, so let's go back. Identifying is one. 2 is figuring out yourself and what makes you feel like you're not her. Like why can't you be her? And there's actually answers to these questions. You just have never sat with yourself to go, so what is that actually? My thing was always it was always my look, only because my look was always something that was picked on. Like I went to a private Christian school, so basically I was bullied for smelling like malag, for smelling like that Sudanese lotion that is so strong. You make you go to school in it and you just smell so strong. You're just like, everybody can smell me and I haven't even jumped in the school yet. I'm sure all black girls can relate. Being both being different. And then in high school, identifying myself as an athlete and not letting myself be in the realm of girls who are beautiful or girls that guys would like. I started just like going to like functions where like, you know, my peers would be there and people would start to know me, like just stuff like that, like just putting myself out there and not like being an introvert and like keeping myself inside, because that was really just enabling my self-image, because it's forced myself to be out there, because then, you know, I could really work on it. Because I think it's one thing to work on your self-image with yourself, but to be out there in the real world and still stand your ground, that's another level of it. Like confidence walking around this journey not caring if anybody will like doing that, you know, caring that people will like you, that's not confident whatsoever. I literally just started making sure that I was good with me. Like I was like, you know, I'm gonna be out there, I'm gonna put myself out there, put myself together, start wearing cute stuff, start doing my hair, I started buying wigs, I started learning how to do makeup, I started learning like, you know, just cute stuff. Like I started just being cute. Like I was like, you know what, like it was like cognitive dissonance. Like it was like I didn't, like in my brain I was like, but like should I, like I don't know, like I don't want it to be like forcing it because I want people to care what I look like on the outside. But this is the thing, they go hand in hand. It's like an A and B. A is your outside, B is your inside. I'm not saying one or the other. Start on either or. Whatever is the fastest, because one will lead you to the other. Trust me, pick one or the other, one will lead you to the other. That's how they work. If you start looking good on the outside, you start going, okay, people tell me I look cute, but then you sit with yourself and you're like, but I don't feel it in myself. And then you start working on your inner self so you can correlate the feelings, because you love the feeling of people edifying you, people telling you you're all these things, but the minute you don't feel that when you're by yourself, then yourself starts to tell you, we like this feeling too much, that we want to feel it for ourselves as well, and then those two journeys start to clash. I think people try to make it seem like, oh, like, don't care about your exterior, just work on your interior, blah, 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 it's all it's important. But guess what, you guys, no matter how good you feel on the inside, if you don't look how you feel on the inside, you'll never really be that happy. Like I always tell people, like, start with one or the other and C will come. Like A and B together, C will come, you know what I'm saying? And the other one is, I think this is another important thing, I always say, like, fake it till you make it. Like, I'm like, listen, like this journey is not like oh, for 3 days straight I'm gonna, you know, put makeup on and you know, on Wednesday everything's gonna be cute. Like, that's not how it works. It's a long journey. It's like a process. You have to put yourself there in order for you to start, it becomes innate and like kind of normal. Because this is the thing, becoming a new person is not normal, it's unfamiliar, it's not natural, right? So if you're gonna do something you've never done before, you can't do what you've normally be doing. Like when people say just tell yourself every day in the mirror that you're that bitch and blah blah blah, yeah, but you also need to do everything that comes with that, and that means going places, going to be seen, being confident in areas where you normally would not be confident. Like you start telling yourself like you're hurt, like you're fine. Like when people are staring at you, you're like, it's because I look cute. Even if they think it's because there's something on your face, you just tell yourself, like, you have to reframe the thoughts that you have about yourself, which is step 4 or step 5. Step 4 or step 5 is rewiring your brain, creating your own thoughts. I used to have so many negative thoughts about myself. Like I'd be like, you're not cute, like you're so dark, like no one thinks you're cute, like you're just funny, like you just this is the thoughts I would have about myself, and that is how then I would operate with people. That was how I saw. So it's like that's another step. I mean, step 5 is literally rewire your brain, recreate your thoughts. Like I feel like, cause how it works is like you'll be walking, right? And someone will look at you and your brain will automatically go to, oh my god, they think I look like my outfit's ugly, or oh my god, is it my shirt, or oh my god, it's my hair. Like those are the thoughts that are going in your brain. So with reframing your thoughts is the minute someone stares, you just automatically go straight to a positive thought. You're like, ooh, wait, I know they're looking at this new outfit and you girl looking together. You know what I'm saying? Like those are the thoughts you need to start reframing your thoughts with. Like if someone's staring at you, you're like, hey, oh, you trying to tell me he want me, like that. And it's not that it's an arrogant thing. It's just you're trying to battle with the negative side of yourself. Why these are the things that matter, because the minute you start overriding your thoughts of yourself, it actually starts to show. Like your aura starts to change. Like, oh, you know, she don't care what nobody think about her. That's the energy you start to give off. I think this is probably the most important rule, is rewiring your thoughts. Oh my god, like, you guys don't understand how vital it is. Like, I literally had to talk to myself constantly till I was so comfortable with myself that I could be anywhere by myself and I wouldn't care. I know it sounds crazy, but this was then. Now I travel by myself. Like, I don't go places with people. Like, it becomes an ability within yourself where, like, you can do so many things because the way you're comfortable with your own silence and your own space. This is the things that come with learning your self-worth, to be honest with you guys. Like, so I think, like, rewiring your brain, definitely really important. Start seeing yourself in a different light. Start seeing yourself as a beautiful girl. Start seeing yourself as a girl that guys actually want. Like, now I walk around and someone was to make a comment, like, for example, the other day, like, someone was like, oh, if you came to Europe with us, like, all the boys would be all over you. I said, girl, anywhere I go, they all want me. Like, these are the thoughts that I started saying instead of thinking, no, they went, or like, why would they want me? Like, I literally was like, girl, everywhere I go is where it's like, no, they want me, period. Like, these are the ways you have to frame how your brain sees you. Because remember, you guys, from grade 4 all the way to grade 9, I thought of myself in a certain way where I just didn't think I was that girl. So think about undoing grade 4 to grade 9, how much work that is. That means it has to be a lot more aggressive. You can't be soft about things that require a lot of work because there's been so much damage done. That makes any sense. So I think depending on where you're at, I think you'll know where you're at, how hard you need to go in this journey and in your self-talk in order for you to override your brain and how you think of yourself. I think it's so important, but people don't see it that way because they think you're just being arrogant, like you're so full of yourself, like chill out. No, you can't bring a knife to a gunfight. Bottom line, that's basically it. You can't bring a knife to a gunfight. This journey called loving yourself, stop bringing knives. This is a gunfight, bro. Like, you need to bring, like, snipers, and, you know, you need to bring a shooter on your side, like, for real. Like, you need to bring a homegirl with a sniper in the corner who's gonna take someone out they need to. Like, celebrating yourself isn't even about, oh, I've accomplished this, the world needs to acknowledge it. It's something that you need to acknowledge for yourself, so you're proud of yourself, so you start seeing yourself in a higher level. So I think the more you celebrate yourself, the more your brain, your thoughts start to go, wow, you're actually really impressive. Like, wow, you actually accomplished this. Like, oh, look at you, you did this. For me, I constantly remind myself of where I used to be, like the way I used to see myself compared to who I am now. Like, it literally makes me emotional because I think it's something that, like, you never think that you're gonna really like yourself that much until you start liking yourself. Then you're like, wow, like, who would have thought? When your brain starts to constantly say facts, then you start to operate with facts. So the more you speak on the things that are positive that you do, the more your brain is going to rerun those thoughts over all the other thoughts that are normally in your brain. That's why it's really important to start doing things, to start chasing what you like, start doing things you really enjoy. Like, start, like, tallying and, like, you know, like, taking, like, not notes, but, like, just start, like, writing down lists and start, like, proactively, like, chasing after goals and things that you want to do, because you know that is something that, you know, your brain kind of gets a high off of, you know what I'm saying? So I say celebrate yourself. I celebrate myself. I have parties for myself. You guys, literally, like, I finish a book and I'm like I'm one step closer to being smarter, like, for real. Like, I'll accomplish something and I'm like, oh my god, like, go me, like, congratulations. I'll tell my core people and they're so happy for me, and then I'm like, wow, like, go me, like, well done. Like, it's just so important to understand you have to celebrate yourself. And then also being kind to yourself. Oh my gosh, this is so important, you guys. If you're mean to yourself, it gives everyone else permission to also be mean to you. That's just how it works. If you say, oh, I'm so annoying and I'm so ugly, bro, one day something's gonna happen, someone's gonna be like, you're so annoying. Not because they think you're annoying, but because they heard you say it once. How many times have you said something about yourself and someone said it, you were so mad they said it? Because you don't actually like the term. So why would you say it to yourself? Like, if you spoke to someone the way you speak to yourself, like, would they be friends with you? And that's a very important question to ask yourself. How you speak about yourself says a lot about just how you see yourself. Speak to yourself kindly, because those thoughts are the thoughts that your brain believes the most of, right? If you're not kind to yourself, you operate like someone who isn't kind to themselves. Like, you won't care as much to put yourself together. You won't care as much to wear nice clothes. You won't care as much to be nice to people. Nice people, you guys see them in public. Do you know why they're nice? It's because they're nice to themselves. We love nice people not because they love us, but it's because they love themselves. Treat yourself very well, you guys. You'll want to treat other people very well because you know how it feels and how and you feel good when you treat yourself well. So you go, let me be nice to people because I feel really good about myself. So I want other people to feel good about themselves. So I'm gonna start giving out compliments. I'm gonna start, saying nice things, holding people's door, buying people coffee. Like, if you feel good, like, you guys, you want to make other people feel good too. Like, trust me, you do. You can't help yourself. It's just like. It's like, that's why people hate people who are nice. They're just like, why are they always doing stuff? It's just like, it's so like, you don't have to do these things. Like, you can't help yourself. Like, you just want to do stuff. With true confidence, it's honestly, it's not about what people think of you. Like, that's not ever what you should be focusing on. What you need to be focusing on is what people think you think of yourself. Is the most important thing about loving yourself, because you don't really care then, because you're like, well, I think I'm lit, so I don't know why they don't think I think I'm lit. That has nothing to do with me. That's a personal thing then. And the last one is just understanding that, like, you have to be the highest version of yourself. That is the thing. When you go through all these steps, you guys, and you finally get to, okay, so the higher version of myself, who is she? How does she operate? The minute you figure that out, guys, you gotta start showing up as that person. Changing the way I looked at myself. There was a lot of just allowing myself to be her. Last one for sure is just surrounding yourself with women who want what's best for you and are also growing in that journey. Because I think surrounding yourself with women who are in competition with you low-key, or girls who they don't really want you to grow or shine, the journey becomes a lot harder when that's the case, because they're constantly going to find ways to belittle you, make you feel less of yourself, make you question yourself a lot. And I don't think that is something that you have time for when you're going through a journey where you're trying to be fully confident in yourself. I think being around girls that allow you to be great, because this is the thing people don't get. When you are confident and you operate that way and you show up that way, it gives the people around you the space to be like, wait, I can do that too, and it's not too much. Instead of that group of friends where, like, please, like, no one dress up too hard, I'm not trying to do that today, or like, why you always dress so nice, like, please don't put any, like, you know what I'm saying, like, just the friend groups that, like, make you feel weird for wanting to be better, wanting to do more, wanting to be more an elite version of yourself, like trying to be a higher version of yourself, and they want to belittle it because they don't want to go up too. So I guess we'll go through all the things. So number one, identifying what confidence means to you, and then identifying who embodies what it is you're looking for, breaking the cycles and the triggers that you do. You start taking care of yourself. You have to fake it till you make it, which is a really good one. Rewiring your brain, so important. Create new pathways in your brain on how you see yourself and things like that. Learn to celebrate yourself. Be kind to yourself, and just figure out who your higher self is and then start showing up as her. It is so important that you do that. I think these are the things that I had to constantly do. Like, I didn't call them these things when I was going through them. This is just what they actually were. You know what I mean? And now, like, my confidence is so beyond the roof that, like, I am constantly nitpicking myself in a way where I'm like, I want to be better, because I know that I can grow. I know that I can go from one place to another with myself, and that there's levels to everything. For who I am, my confidence level is great, but it definitely can be better. You know what I'm saying? Anywho, this video is probably so long. Oh my god, I'm sorry, but this is just honestly, this is a subject that I'm very passionate about. This is something that I just literally, it's the one thing I talk about probably all of the time. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys, and I'll catch you guys next time.